Wood Studio, and this is my first, I'm not going to call it a weekly shop update because I'm not sure, but it's going to be my first shop update. So let's see what's been going on. I posted a whole bunch of videos on YouTube this week. I put up the whole Gamble House living room armchair for you guys to watch. I hope you enjoy it. The plans are on my site, and I'm not forcing you or trying to get you to purchase. Watch it. It's a lot. It's a beautiful chair, and building a chair requires a little bit more steps than, say, building this cabinet that I've been working on this week next to me. So, what else has been going on in the shop? Well, in the physical shop, I've been working on this cabinet here, and it's a wedding gift for some friends. The idea behind the cabinet is you can put a bottle of wine, 2 bottles of wine, a bottle of scotch, whatever, right here on the bottom. The middle or the shelf is not movable, and here is enough room to put, with room on the top, very large wine glasses, or for me, I would put personally scotch glasses, but that's just myself. It's all walnut. It's actually pretty much all from the same board. The only thing that may not come from the same board yet on this will be the shiplap back and whatever I'm going to do for the panel on the door. But the sides are all from the same board, as well as the top, shelves, the bottom, and the fillers. For the sides, I am doing my best here to have both of them have cathedral patterns start on the bottom and go all the way up. That's the same on both sides. Obviously, this one's a little stronger than the other one, but that's just what the board had in it. The shelves here, or the shelf here, I've already pre-chamfered before I glued it in. And let me talk to you about the joinery in this. It's a little bit different than normal. I elected for sliding dovetails for the joinery. Now, let me talk to you real quick about sliding dovetails. Number one, they're super strong. Number two, when you do a glue up with sliding dovetails, you do not try to glue all 3 of these up at the same time. Absolutely, positively not. Number 3 is you do not put glue on the dovetail part of these, only in the sliding dovetail keys that are on the sides. The reason is they are going to seize up on you very quickly, and the more glue that's in there, the more the joint will expand, and the faster it's going to seize up. So I started with doing the top, and then I did the bottom, and then the middle. Now, you may notice that why am I pointing to the top when it's the thickest piece, and the bottom is not the full depth. Now let me walk you through this a little bit. I made some changes to the way typical cases are constructed for this case, and the reason is I wanted this to have a French cleat system on top, which I have room for. So I've set a pretty good depth there. It's a little over, it's about an inch from the edge of the case to where the panel, the panels will be for the back, the shiplap back. And what I'm going to end up doing is with this cutoff that came from the shelf, it had some sap in it, and I removed the sap when I cut the shelf to width. This guy is going to get a rabbet right here in front, and it's going to, when I'm done with the case, get glued in to the bottom here. And that will get the shiplap back after I've attached it to the center, so the shelf, and to the bottom with some nails. This guy will then close the whole bottom up, and there'll be a little bit of a lip, enough that it'll contain the shiplap back. I'm not really worried about it moving, but just in case, I'm going to put this guy down here. It's probably an overbuild, but nonetheless, that's what I'm going to do. I still have some molding to put on this. I haven't decided what molding I'm going to put around the top yet, but I'll get there. I have some whole bunch of different moldings I've made over the years. And I'll take a look, put some up here, and see what I like the best. Tonight, I worked on the door, and a couple things about the door. Traditional mortise and tenon joinery, nothing crazy. The um, stiles, as you can see, they're kind of thin, and that's to keep in proportion with the entire case. I don't want to make the stile so thick that the panel in the center is going to be not wide enough, or it'll be so thin it really doesn't make a statement. The other thing is the top rail is thinner than the bottom rail, and that's just going to help bring some gravity or your eyes down towards the bottom of the cabinet. The other thing is you'll see that the rails, or stiles that is, are a little longer on both the top and the bottom, and that's on purpose. I'm going to take this piece apart and put it back together a few times, and until this thing's really glued up, it's not really strong yet. So this allows me to, with a dead blow hammer or a regular hammer, to easily knock this frame apart. That's why these guys are a little bit long. I haven't grooved the panel yet, or where the panel will go. I just haven't done that part yet, but I will. It'll have to be later in the week. But that's where I am so far on the cabinet. The surfaces inside have all been hand planed, and that's another thing with if you ever try to attempt to do construction like this, where you're using dovetails, as far as sliding dovetails for the construction of a case like this, before you cut the dovetails or sliding dovetails in the case after you've done your dados to relieve some of the waste, you need to clean up the case first. So take a hand plane, clean that guy up, and then cut all of your joinery on the sides. The stiles here, or the rails, whatever you want to call, I've already cut my mortises for my door. The door is going to hang on the right, open up this way, and they are rabbited into the sides. And I'll chamfer the edges here, and it'll look seamless. I didn't mention already, everything here is from the same board, same 4/4 board of walnut. It's a nice wide board, long, and so far I've been able to pull everything I wanted out, especially all the straight grain for the shelves, the filler pieces, and the stiles here. Same thing on the door. I have very straight grain on the door, and I have this nice grain pattern on the stiles where it's coming up and in right here, and I really dig that. I really like that a lot. So, grain selection is a big thing. In the Gamble House living room armchair video, I did a whole section just on grain selection, and that can really make or break a piece. So if I had, just crazy grain going all over here, there wouldn't be as much harmony in the pattern or as there is right now. So I'm trying to really keep nice straight grain across, straight grain up, straight grain on the bottom across as well. The stuff that's got a little bit more fun to it can be inside the cabinet, like in the shelves and the bottom and the top, where as long as you got nice straight grain on the edge that's being seen, that's cool. So that's where I pulled those pieces from on that board, where I had a little more grain going all over the place. It wasn't as straight. So what else has been going on? Pretty much this, and then I've been preparing for the third build, which will be a Nakashima style dining table. I've got some boards back here. They've been here a couple of weeks now. They're going to need a little bit more time to acclimate to the shop. But I've got some slabs back there. I've already got some 12/4 walnut further down on the rack, and it's had time to acclimate. So I'll probably end up, when I do that build, I'll start first with the base. I'm able to start with the base too because I have dimensions from the client about the width of their chairs. So I'll be able to build the base, the trestle part of it, that's wide enough so I can fit 2 chairs in between on both sides. And when you sit to eat, you need a space between, I think it's 24, 26, and 30 inches per person. So that gives me the amount of room I need between the length of the legs, plus whatever the width of the chair is. Whichever one's greater is the one I'm going to shoot for, some average in between. Oh, some other stuff I did this weekend was I did a little bit of shop maintenance, which is always a good thing. My jointer planer combo machine, I could feel that the pieces were not going through at the speed they normally go through in the planer mode. So I just cleaned the bed out. There was a lot of gunk, resin, whatever you want to call it, dirt there. And I cleaned that off and everything started flowing very nicely. Let me show you what I use for that. I have a hammer, which is made by Felder, and I have no idea how to pronounce some of this stuff because it's all German or Austrian or whatever you want to say it. But this is the product, and I have no doubt it'll work great on other cast iron parts as well. So I just spray this guy on, let it sit for a few minutes, and with some paper towels or a junk rag, wipe everything down, do it again, and everything's just flowing nice and smoothly after that. So a little bit of shop maintenance there. And that's pretty much it for the update. If you have any questions or if you want me to go over anything, add it to the discussion for this video and I'd be happy to answer them. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend in your shop like I did, and I'll see you guys soon.